And welcome to the program where we make fun of sales, training, and promotional films of the past. My name is Jason Reid. I am here along with my co-host, Chris Mei. How you doing, Chris?
Doing very well, Jason. We're about midway through December, which means that we're getting really close to the end of 2020.
Yes, this has been the year of cheesy sales cinema. And, to help round some of this year out, we've picked a film that actually sells a place. So last time we did Kansas City, a great place to call home. This time we're looking at the city of Mississauga, which is a suburb of Toronto.
Yeah, the title of the program, Land on the Move. Discuss amongst yourselves as to what you think they mean by that when you watch the video. I'm sure that Jason and I will pick up on it afterwards. But interesting title. They're talking about a city that is massive now, just outside the city of Toronto. So it's interesting to see this film coming from this long ago.
Yeah, let's have a look. Whoa, sounds like a football game.
Sounds like the beginning of a war movie.
What does a man look for in a place to live and do his work? This is
a
the
desk?
Valley of the Credit, with its river that rises in the ancient slate hills to the north and winds its way to
He
Lake
at least
Ontario.
is looking to work indoors.
Long ago, this valley was the
Although this is very
between
bucolic
warring Indian
looking.
tribes. For 100 years, it was the waterway of fur traders. It attracted its first settlers more than a century and a half
Wherever
ago.
this is absolutely
And since
gorgeous.
then,
It's beautiful.
The land has grown and prospered.
It's the Credit River.
Oh,
And they've obviously hired a helicopter.
Now in the third
yeah, because the
quarter
drone
of the
doesn't come
20th
around for
century,
another 40
a
years.
new era has opened for this valley. This one, the town of Mississauga, in the busy heart of Canada, a land on the move.
Land on the move. I guess they have earthquakes.
I'm thinking I can't get wings off my mind now. Land on the move.
Yep. So important that it's in all caps.
Why are they screaming at us?
The town of Mississauga covers over 70,000 acres. Its population has leaped from 13,000.
Oh, wow. The highways do not look that way now. They are packed.
And in the last 10 years alone,
13,000 at the
industrial
turn
commercial
just
assessment
after the
has
war.
risen by close to $50 million.
And you're right. These highway shots look like they were taken right after the earth cooled. It's never that empty.
They got a lot of use out of that helicopter. It's like, damn, we're renting this thing. We're going to shoot as much as we can.
Yeah. They're looking at the invoice. Okay, we got this thing for 2 hours, boys. This costs us a mint. We need a lot of stuff for a lot of projects.
Ooh, a geography
Let's take
lesson.
a look at the map
Here we go.
first. The town lies on the edge of Lake Ontario,
Mississauga's big.
just 17
Yeah.
miles west of Toronto City Hall. And on the other side,
I didn't know
the
Mississauga was that
booming
much bigger
steel
than the
city
city of
Hamilton.
Toronto.
Yeah, it's taken a
West of
bite
the
out of
town
Toronto and
Mississauga,
Hamilton.
Right at the hub of things.
Well, they didn't
Montreal
mention
is less than
Buffalo.
1
They just
hour
put it
away
up
by
there.
air. So is New
No,
York.
but I'm sure they will.
Cleveland takes 45 minutes. Chicago, an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
they're not mentioning
Detroit,
Buffalo.
1
No.
hour.
Sorry,
They're
Buffalo.
mentioning
If you were to
cities that
go
don't
to
even
Texas,
show up on the map, and yet they will
45%
not
of Ontario's
reference Buffalo.
population would be living within just 40 miles of you.
If you need to go to
And
Buffalo, you know
1/3
it's
of
there.
Canada's total market would be no more
They're just
than
using it as a
100
marker,
miles
you know,
away.
like a
And
flag in
addition,
a
if
golf
you are
hole.
selling to the 70 million people who live in the nearby American states, you can send a truck there overnight.
Or you can send a horse there over 3 days.
The largest
really
highway
depends on
system
what
in
level of
Canada
Prime
passes
membership
right
you have
through
signed
the
up for.
town. A complete network of major and secondary roads which connect customers and supplies throughout the country and link up
You
with
can
the
get out of town
expressways
quick.
across the border. And roads
Lots
are
of
just
highways,
one
lots
the
of
four
options.
transportation systems you have to choose from. The railways first pierced the Credit River Valley in 1850. Now Canada's two major
Pierced
systems, the
Pierced
Canadian
the
National
valley?
and
It sounds like
Canadian
they
Pacific,
went into it and they let all the water flow out.
industrial regions and join up with most of the important systems in North America. And they do more than
Oh,
just
the
pass
PhD,
through
the
area,
doctors
of
are
course.
on that
There's
car,
plenty of
Chris.
siding space
Load
available.
them up, everybody. We need these doctors.
Let's bring them to Northern Ontario where they're needed.
If you prefer to fly or ship your products by air, Toronto's International Airport is actually located within the town area.
Imagine.
This is Canada's busiest air terminal and can handle every type
You
of
think
aircraft,
this is busy? You
from
should see it
turboprop
now.
freighters to jetliners.
Again,
Executive aircraft
I don't-
can also
I
use
don't remember
either
it being
or a
this
second
dead.
airport in the area. Lastly, this town grew up around the Credit Valley, and where the river flows into Lake Ontario, a modern harbor has been built, which forms a part of the great St. Lawrence Seaway system. The cargo handling facilities
is it that
here
great?
are excellent, and Port Credit can accommodate ocean-going vessels.
I don't remember
as well
Port
as the Great
Credit
Lakes
being
tankers
a
and freighters.
shipping hub.
To
I
say
know
the
right
least,
now it's
the town of
beautiful
Mississauga
condos and
certainly
boutique
is
shopping.
accessible, but
Yeah,
one of
the
facilities of the
shipping isn't there
community itself.
anymore.
The lake is
That's
right
yachts.
on your doorstep.
Exactly.
Pure fresh water pumped through a distribution system more than 300
Mississauga,
miles
we
long.
have water.
It supplies all kinds of
They have
industry,
made a big thing
from
about water
storage
since this
battery
whole video started.
manufacturers to the people who test jet engines.
Well, I guess the people who test jet engines get thirsty too.
There
Yeah, I
is
think
an
they're using the
abundant
water to
supply of
cool the
low-cost
engines, man.
electrical power from the
That's not for
huge
you to drink.
Ontario hydro system.
Oops.
This $250 million plant,
Yep,
located
I
right in
remember
the
living
town,
next to that
is one of
plant,
the
and then they
largest
blew it up a
thermal
few years
generating
ago.
stations in the world.
What? When did they
Sewage
blow it up?
disposal for industrial
About
and
10 years
domestic
ago,
needs is taken
15
care
years
of
ago.
way.
by
Yeah.
a modern system which is constantly being extended as the demand increases.
So, gas and sewer pipes. I don't really want to know the
And there's
connection
an
there.
unlimited supply
Gas,
of
sewer pipes,
natural
and
gas.
water.
It
That's
comes from the great
Mississauga.
gas fields of Western Canada and provides the fuel to manufacture an astonishing array of products, from foodstuffs and clothes to bricks and cement.
Yeah, you don't want to mix up foodstuffs and cement.
No, nor not even clothing and bricks.
Yeah. Got the Eye of Sauron there.
Yeah, and very, very Lord of the Rings of you, my
Contributing
friend.
factor to this community's development has been its growing population. On the one hand, this
Oh, it's
represents a
growing all right,
strong labor
babies.
pool,
It's growing.
And on the other, a rich consumer market.
Nothing says
While the town of
population
Mississauga
density
has
like a
lot to
half-empty
offer
parking
a
lot.
new industry, it
reminds me
also
of the
has a
Kansas
great
City
deal to
video we
offer the
did.
people who live here.
Come to our expansive malls. Why? No one else does.
We have the buying montage, straight from the 1940s. Want to buy a fire engine?
Town of Mississauga still blows me away.
The police look like they're from Mayberry.
Yeah, the police today in Mississauga, which I believe is just Peel Region Police, they look like they were genetically modified with gigantic robots and giants of the Nephilim. They're huge.
Yeah, they could have all played the Hulk back in the day.
All of them.
We have schools! More schools!
Lots of schools.
And now, a quiet, pious moment brought to you by the city of Mississauga.
Pius definitely gets the point. Wow, look at all the different denominations, none of which reflect the population of current day Mississauga.
Not at all. So let's say we go from God to the planning department that sponsored this video. Interesting.
Doesn't just happen. And anticipating future
This is where when they were
development
talking to the
calls for
producer,
skillful planning.
yeah, I know you guys really
The
want to be in it, and I know
manufacturer who
you're
is thinking
funding
of
it, but
locating
the
here
only spot we
can
have
call
open
on
is
an
after the
experienced
church.
town planning staff and an active industrial commission to give him advice. And further assistance
This looks like
is
one of those
available through the
child's
Trade and Industry
maps, you
branch
know,
of the
that don't
Ontario
really
government.
show anything.
There are over 7,000 acres of preferred industrial
They draw
land
lines and
to
squares
choose
and go, look
from.
at my neighborhood.
The
You can't
greater
get in it.
industrial development is concentrated into
So what do you
5
think
major
is
parks,
there now, Chris, instead of
offering
that
a
field?
variation of services
I'm going to
suit
say
your
that there's
requirements.
probably 10,000 homes.
Yep, and a Walmart and at least one
And if it's for a
Starbucks.
place to live,
Or 4.
you can
There's
choose
got to be,
anything
for every
from an
Walmart, there's
executive
10
home on the banks of the
Starbucks.
Credit
So, yeah,
River
there's a lot
to
going on in this
well-ordered
empty
subdivisions
green
and
space.
apartment buildings. New homes like these.
Yeah,
are
these
being
homes
built
don't look
all
like
the
that
time,
now. There's
not
like
without
all that
reason.
space around them.
By 1980, it's estimated that the present population will have more than tripled itself to some 300,000 people.
Oh, they weren't kidding with that tripling of
No.
the population.
They pretty much nailed that.
Look, the Astrodome. Kid, I think your horse is dead.
Your horse is dead. You're nice.
And big city entertainment? Toronto is only 20 minutes away from your door.
Not anymore. It'll take you at least 2 hours.
No,
it's not.
There's plenty
Traffic
of
these days.
in the city for fun and excitement.
20 minutes.
Oh man,
20
I missed those
minutes can't
signs.
get you
Chris.
halfway up or down Winston Churchill.
If you prefer to take an active part in your own relaxation, you don't have to look far. The Huron Park Recreation Center offers the residents a complete
He did say
community
Huron,
facility.
right?
Yes.
Swimming pool, skating rink, restaurant, auditorium, and even a health club. Or imagine yourself enjoying
Are they
one of
promoting
these sports.
a city
They're all
or
over
a
town,
retirement
in the
center?
town
Yeah, it
itself.
sounds like a retirement villa or something. Nice shots of the golfers' buttocks.
Yeah, camera's a bit low, buddies. It sounds like the music from a Charlie Brown soundtrack.
Maybe that's Charlie Brown in that little basket that's going down the hill. Oh man, I remember when like the lake was that brownish gray color. Ugh.
It still is, isn't it?
No, it's actually really nice, crystal clear now.
You're putting me on.
Yeah, well, there's no factories by the lake anymore to pollute it, so
They cleaned up the water?
they did.
Wow.
Actually, they did that all around the Great Lakes. Field hockey, that's what's going to bring them in. We got to have a field hockey scene here, guys.
Something tells me the executive producer was, this video doesn't get made unless you put my daughter's field hockey team in.
I don't know where this is. I've never seen skiing like this in Mississauga ever.
Yeah, I'll bet you if we go to where that used to be, you've got communities known as Downhill Way and, Mogul Street.
Look at this, though. They used to skate on the Credit River. Can't do that now.
Oh, that looks like the Rideau in Ottawa.
Yeah. Wow, lots of people having fun.
The town of Mississauga is unique among all
St.
other
Lawrence
industrial
Cement. My mom
areas
worked
in
there.
Southern Ontario.
Oh, cool.
She's the
Already,
secretary.
more
I
than
remember that. Or I don't remember that. She
major
used to tell us that all the time.
manufacturers
You
and
used to
scores of
still,
smaller
into the
plants
90s, be able to
moved
drive
here
by a lot of
take
these
advantage
places.
the location,
That's right.
The transportation facilities and the pool of local labor.
I think they're going to show
The full
every
list of
single
companies
company
looks like
in
an
Mississauga
like they
here.
are.
who's who of industry.
Click,
And the list
click,
continues
click.
to grow week by week.
So they called it a
Jason-
who's who of industry, like the National Sewer Pipe Limited.
Oh, like them. So would these have been the giant companies that you were talking about that would have been polluting the Credit River? So now that they're gone, the water's back to blue again?
Yeah, not all of them, but some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're still looking at them. Sorry, I thought we were done that part.
Oh no, we have another dozen or so companies for you to look at, Chris, including the instant coffee place,
Sandra Instant Coffee.
Capitol Records.
Wow.
Oh, the Mallory Battery Company. I forgot about
The
those.
second phase of Sheridan Park Research
That
Center was
Sheridan
opened
Park
recently.
sign looks exactly the
Ontario
same
Research
today.
Foundation
It's
chose
still
this
there.
site in the town of Mississauga for a multi-million-dollar research and development complex. The center provides a stimulating atmosphere for scientists, engineers,
Scientists
and
getting
technicians
stimulated?
to work together with your
Okay.
industry.
I'd like to see a stimulated scientist. Like, what exactly gets them crazy?
I don't know, maybe it was those field hockey shots.
Could have been the field hockey shots.
Ooh, the jazz band is back. Dave Brubeck has really taken this band into all sorts of
Worth
improvisational
considering
places.
what this area has to offer. For this is a land on the move. It's alive. It's growing. It's Canada's largest
Sounds like an alien.
town.
It's alive, it's
Yeah,
growing.
Mississauga.
It's alive, it's growing, and it's on the move. Fear it!
But how can you fear it with such cool jazz, man?
I'd buy this record. I'd buy this record.
I would too. And that was the jazzy end to Mississauga, Land on the Move. Chris,
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how they squeezed Gene Krupa into the budget, but however.
now, of course, the key question, Chris, how well do you think that it sold what it wanted to sell, which was, well, what is now the city of Mississauga?
Yeah, I couldn't believe when they were calling it the town of Mississauga. And because it's gone from town of Mississauga, where they bragged that they had 13,000 population just after World War II, and it was shot in 69, and they said by 1980 they will have tripled their population up to 300,000, telling me that they would have had 100,000. This video worked. This video worked real well because Mississauga is a massive metropolis next to a megalopolis, which is Toronto. And that Pearson Airport that we saw, that was pathetic compared to what it is
then,
now.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. The airport today is huge. It's on a scale with O'Hare.
It certainly is. Yeah. I mean, if you ever come to Toronto and see the airport, it is massive. It's basically like its own city with its own highways, and it takes you forever just to get there.
It really does. It needs its own monetary system.
Yeah, pretty much. The one thing that I found interesting, though, Chris, is if we look at this film and compare it to the other film that we did that's very similar about economic development, which is the one we did on Kansas City, to me, this film beats that hands down.
Oh, by far, not even close. You and I agreed after Kansas City that we were not living up to Here We Come, because here we ain't on our way.
Yeah, I mean, that video had all sorts of shots that were shot incorrectly on an angle. It was really bad editing. Yeah. And, this one, very different. Even though it was done 20 years before, it was done so much better. And I think, Chris, it's partly because number one, this was shot on film, and film was a very expensive medium. So you had to hire people who knew what they were doing, and you knew you were going to make an investment. So companies and municipalities didn't cheap out. So not only did we get it shot on film, we got a top flight actor. I'm not sure exactly who the actor is, but the voice is very familiar. There were a number of Shakespearean actors in Canada, especially Toronto, who used to do a lot of voiceovers. So they got one of these guys who really knew what he was doing. And the other interesting thing is this was made by an actual filmmaker, a guy who made actual movies and television shows. Huh. I did some research, and I'm pretty sure this was produced and directed by a guy by the name of Don Haldane. And it's a name you probably don't know, but you likely know the stuff he worked on. So in addition to 1980s TV shows in Canada, like The Campbells, he also did some classics from the 70s and the 60s. So he directed an episode of The Beachcombers.
Wow, that's huge.
It was really huge in Canada. Also, Swiss Family Robinson, that I remember as a kid being on TV all the time. Yeah, he did a bunch of those episodes.
I loved that show.
Yeah. And here's the pièce de résistance, Chris. I know you'll love this. He also directed, I think, 15 episodes of a kids show called Forest Rangers. You remember that?
He did Forest Ranger. I wanted to be a Forest Ranger.
Yeah, that was such a cool show. It was actually the first color television show produced in Canada, and it was set, in the wilds, I think, of Ontario, Indian River or someplace like that. That was supposed to be out in the middle of nowhere, but where they shot most of the scenes was right outside Toronto. So I remember watching a couple of these scenes where it's like, how are we going to find the guy lost in the wilderness? And suddenly there's like a 747 landing just beyond the trees. It was hilarious. But
hey, if you'd like to see more videos that we have posted, you can get them online anytime on YouTube. All you have to do is hit the cool little subscribe button. It's just over there to the right. Hit subscribe, and that immediately gets you notified as to when the next videos are available. Plus, if you're wondering about what Jason and I are going on about, it's Kansas City, Kansas City, Kansas City. You can go back by subscribing. You get instant access to our archives, and you can go back and watch the Kansas City one, then watch Mississauga, and you tell us for yourself.
Yeah. Put that comment in the YouTube comment section. We always love hearing from you.
Yes, we do.
So for Chris May, I'm Jason Reid. We will see you next time.